The following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Phoenix, Brother Mike, back on the radio, hardcorechristianity.com. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry about my voice. I've had a cold. I apologize for that. Today's Bible study, Apostasy on Steroids. This thing's out of control. It's off the chain. Maybe you call somebody and tell them the radio program's on. I'll do the announcements when you make that call. Thanks for your help. This is Brother Mike. I am the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. We're downtown on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. It's the red brick building. If you go to the website, hardcorechristianity.com, you'll see all of our ministry services. As you know, we have 2 live services every week. We never shut down, even during holidays. Thursday and Friday nights at 7 p.m. It's broadcast live, both services, on our YouTube streaming channel, youtube.com/House of Healing AZ. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. Live every week and archived also on the website. You can catch all of our radio programs. I save them all on the website. Don't forget about the PayPal button. Send us a year-end donation. Thank you for your kindness. Don't forget about Sister Karen. She's on the homepage of the website. She wants to list your house for sale. She loves working with Spirit-filled Christians for sure. Don't forget about signing up for one of our free seminars or my training class when you go to the website. Apostasy on Steroids. Unbelievable. Here it is, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Quote, "Let no man deceive you by any means," Paul said. Exapateo, excuse me, my cold's bothering me. Exapateo. It means to be completely fooled, made a complete fool out of. Do not let anybody make a complete fool out of you by any means, Paul said, for that day will not come except there come a falling away first, Greek word apostasia, the great apostasy. And that man of sin will be revealed, the son of perdition. Apolemy is a Greek word. It means the son of total destruction. And that's exactly what happens. And by the way, that tribulation and that the rise of the Antichrist and the number one person that puts him in power is the false prophet. It's only a few years away now. You're running out of time, trust me. The rapture and the tribulation are only a few years away now. We're right at the end of the dispensation of grace. But here's an interesting concept. What does apostasy look like? Well, I can't tell you exactly, but I can tell you what pre-apostasy looks like, because right now, as I'm speaking to you, we are in what I call the pre-tribulation. And the apostasy, the great apostasy, hasn't started yet, but the run-up to the great apostasy has already started. What does apostasy actually look like? Check this out. Here it is. Lifeway Research did another survey. Thought I would share it with you to give you an idea what apostasy looks like in the United States. Here it is. According to Lifeway's research study, they did a new poll. 63% of church-going Christians, 63%, believe Jesus existed before his virgin birth in Bethlehem. Now, you didn't hear me. Only 63% of people that go to a Christian church believe Jesus Christ existed before he was born in the manger in Bethlehem 2,000 years ago. 41% of American adults in general believe that Jesus existed before his Bethlehem birth. 32% disagree with the idea Christ existed before his birth. 28% said they're not sure. They surveyed Christians who attend church 4 times or more a month. Okay? Only 63% of them believed that Christ existed before he was born in Bethlehem. Can you imagine that? Of course you can. It's the great apostasy. We're in the pre-apostasy right now. Nobody in their right mind could possibly read the book of John and not realize that Jesus pre-existed his birth in Bethlehem. Nobody could read that book and not come away with the divine truth that there is a God the Father, a God the Son, and a God the Holy Ghost. Nobody could do it. It's not even possible. The Gospel of John was written specifically by the Holy Ghost regarding the divinity of Jesus. The Gospel of John is spectacular, and that's a pathetic term to use for it. It's, to say the least, it is spectacular book of the Bible. It could be the greatest book of the Bible, the Gospel of John, the divinity of God's Holy Son. What does apostasy look like in America? Looks like this. 18 school board groups recently cut ties with the teachers' unions for likening parent protests to domestic terrorism. Can you imagine that? The teachers' unions in the United States are saying that parents are terrorists because they don't want racism, critical race theory, 1619 Project, transgenderism taught in public schools, especially when the public schools are failing at teaching basic academics like math, science, and reading. Duh! Parents aren't too happy about that. I wonder why. What does the great apostasy look like? In Canada, the Senate just recently, 2 weeks ago, passed a new law saying that conversion therapy is now illegal and it is a crime. Conversion therapy is when someone comes to a therapist, a minister, a counselor, a pastor, a psychotherapist, a psychologist, what have you, and they say, hey, you know what? I was born a boy, but I think I'm a girl, and I don't think that's right. I need help. I need counseling. Please help me. It is now illegal in Canada, and California is also looking at it. They have also looked at it. They are drafting a law there as well, saying that if you're a minister and you're going to pray for somebody who has fallen into the demonic delusion of transgenderism, it is completely demonic. It's totally satanic. There is no such thing and no science documenting transgenderism, period. End of story. It is a lie, a massive, complete lie. If you try to help somebody, pray for them, or what we do, cast demons out of people who are being attacked by spirits, telling them they are living in the wrong body. That is a crime in Canada and soon in California, and other states are going to follow suit. So if you go to someone for help, for counseling, for therapy, to change transgenderism, homosexuality, lesbianism, bisexuality, etc., etc., you will soon be committing a felony for helping that person. That's what the great apostasy looks like. What does apostasy look like? Journalist David Daleiden in California, you know who he is, an extremely brave, an extremely intelligent journalist, secretly taped Planned Parenthood at a series of luncheons while Planned Parenthood explained that they sell body parts to Big Pharma and sells from aborted babies to labs and pharmaceuticals all over the world. They sell body parts of babies they abort. They make money on it. Whatever you sell, depending upon what you want to buy, very similar to buying beef in a stockyard. Depending upon the cut of beef, it costs a certain amount per pound. The same is true of aborted babies. They charge different. This is what apostasy looks like. What does it look like? Iranian nuclear bombs are only a few months away. China taking over the United States. Wokes running amok in our society. Homosexual and bisexuality, commonplace in America. Euthanasia in Europe and physician-assisted suicide now moving over to the United States. States becoming sanctuary states for abortion and sanctuary city for criminal aliens and criminal alien gangsters. Can you imagine it? On social media, children ages 9 to 12 in a recent survey think it's normal to send nude pictures of themselves to other children on social media. Teen Vogue, corrupting the minds of our young girls and daughters in the United States, turning them into sex perverts. The Great Apostasy, what does it look like? The FBI, the Department of Justice, have been turned into criminal organizations. Criminal organizations. That's what apostasy looks like. The CDC, the NIH have turned into organizations used by Satan to force fake vaccines on people, making them sick and susceptible to the coronavirus. Depopulation, Fauci and Gates and the rest of the billionaires weeding out our society because there's too many people and they want them dead. China sending us a bioweapon, the COVID virus. It was created in a lab. All of it. If you take a snapshot of it, that is exactly what the great apostasy is going to look like. In the tribulation, it'll be ramped up tenfold. Right now, the pre-apostasy is already begun. If you're having fear and anxiety over the coming tribulation that's going to be facing us in only a few years, 602-636-5800. You can receive prayer, you can receive deliverance, and you can be healed.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.